And welcome into another episode of the Sick Pod with Draft Vogel. I'm John Vogel, your host, and Mark Jarvis, Justen Gammel, as always, waiting in the wings. And got a little bit of trivia here and cooked up. Gam's going to try to stump us. I'm going to wish him the best of luck in that. But first, Shane, back in the studio. Let's get this thing rolling.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. With Draft Vogel.
With the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. The first pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. With the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft.
The sickest NFL Draft Show. It's gonna be sick.
And your favorite NFL draft show is back, right? I think that's what it is. It's the sickest at the very least, and it is brought to you by DraftKings. College football fans, the championship is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook is making sure you could throw down on the epic showdown for a shot at big bucks. New customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting $5 on the championship game. Download the app now and use the code SICKSPORTS. Sick Sports, just like Sick Podcast. News customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on college football. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SICKSPORTS. The crown is yours. And with that being said, the crowns are being put on Mark Jarvis and Justen Gammel. And guys, pardon my dipping habit. I picked it up again. And I remember I went to the Combine last year. It's last year now that I went to Combine. Because it's 2024. Hey! Happy 2024, guys.
Made it.
And yeah, we survived another year. It's crazy. And I remember going there and being like, I'm going to be the only motherfucker that's going to be sitting here dipping. And I got to these bars and stuff, and every single scalp.
Yeah, there's like, spinners all over the place.
I'm at home, baby. I'm at home. I'm with my people, boy.
Yeah. No, I remember going to what's the bar that's there's like they have all the college flags at when you're in Indianapolis, right across from the crap. Oh, this is my brain, so I'm still concussed. So, but anyway, I went there to do a bunch of work with Rick Saratella and some of the other guys I was working with the Draft Bible. And
was it
on
Brickyard?
the bar, I don't know if
Brick House, something like that.
The Tow Yard, but that's not it. The Tow Yard it closed down, but it's something different. But yeah, I remember I sat down, got a beer. And I look around and I'm like, what are all these empty water bottles? And there's like a little bit of brown. And I'm like, everyone here is chewing and just setting it on the counter. No one's even trying to hide it. But I'm like, Combine brings in enough money. I think the bars can handle us being disgusting there for a week. So.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Debaucherous place.
Hey, St. Elmo's makes more money the Combine week, I guarantee it, than any other week.
Yep.
They are packed.
Wild place.
Reservations through the entire week. You can't get a seat in there.
And that speakeasy upstairs gets nuts.
Woo, so. Yeah. And Prom 40, Prom 45, they're on the corner after midnight. That place.
I don't know if I've been there.
Oh, dude. If you make it to the Combine this year, we got to go.
What's the Irish bar? There's the Irish bar. I went there.
Kilroy's.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That place
wonderful
is fun.
Time.
So Kilroy's, you go to Kilroy's like before midnight. You leave there like 11, and then you go to Prom 45. And I mean, Prom 45, you can't even walk through the place after Wednesday night.
I think I closed down Kilroy's one night, but
I bet you did.
It was a disaster. I'm sure I did.
So I understand you have some trivia for us.
Yeah, I'm here to stump you smart minds, if that's possible.
Jarvis has probably got a better shot at this than I do.
Jarvis is, he's eyeing me like he knows.
How are we doing this? Are we doing like, hand up, whoever has it first, like Jeopardy style buzzer? Or...
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can collaborate on these answers because I feel like they're not the easiest things. I tried to make them a little obscure with some of these players and stuff. So maybe, just however we can accomplish the answers, let's do it. Because I want to see more so if I'm stupid and like these were tough questions for me, or like or this is good for everybody. So,
all right, let's go. Round one. What you got?
Okay, round one. First question. So 2019 draft. Not a lot of good DBs in that draft, but it gave us Jamel Dean, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I believe Julian Love. Only 3 defensive backs were taken that year in round 1. Who were they? And don't Google it, John.
I ain't Googling it.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna
three defensive backs were taken in 2019. The CJ Gardner-Johnson, Jamel Dean, Julian Lovier. Who were they? I'll give you a hint. 2 of the 3 were safeties, not even corners.
Darnell Savage won.
Darnell Savage was number 1. Yes.
This is a tough question for me because you know what I was doing in 2019 during the draft?
I almost said
Graduating basic combat training. So like
This is a
I
bad year for me, too.
I got the first 4 picks and then I had to turn my phone in.
something. Yeah, this might not be for you, pal. I'll give you some hint. All right. So yeah, like I said, 2 of the 3 are safeties.
Well, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was second round pick, was he not, Jarvis?
Oh, I think he was like 4th, right? He
was he
He
fourth?
fell a little bit. Yeah, he slid.
fell?
Mm-hmm.
Because I like went to basic middle of February, like right after the Super Bowl. So I had missed that entire process.
So Jarvis got Darnell Savage. The other 2 defensive backs taken in round 1 were both from the SEC.
SEC backs in 2019.
SEC. And I'll say this, neither of them are good.
Yeah, it
Neither
feels
of them are
obscure. Man.
One of them is a corner who pretty much busted right away. Also got into a little bit of legal trouble. The other one is a safety who still plays, but he's basically a bad Keanu Neal clone.
It's not helping me. I'm lost on this one.
Yeah, that was a bad year for me because I did like 50 reports that year because I was all focused on doing cut-ups. I think because my thought goes to that was the year the draft network was really big.
Yes.
And I was trying to think of guys that they had covered that I might not have seen that were up there pretty early. Can we get a round range? Or not round, like a pick range.
Both these guys were back 3rd of the first round.
Back 3rd of the first round.
Pretty sure. I know the corner
Yeah,
was.
Mark, you're on your own on this one. I'm lost.
So the safety
I can't remember that far.
is from the South. Well, I already said SEC. Mississippi State.
Jonathan Abram.
Jonathan Abram.
Oh, shoot.
yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oakland.
And
I don't
so-
think they're in Vegas yet.
Yeah,
Mike
Vegas.
Mayock. Yeah, okay.
Yep. And then the corner, undersized, a little slow, not great tape, but he kind of got some turnovers here and there in college, so it made him look better. But this guy should have never been a round 1 pick. I think it was just there was no one great in this class. So this corner somehow made it into round 1.
And you said he's SEC?
He's SEC as well from a power.
SEC East.
Don't know because I don't know that stuff.
Is
From
it
I probably won't be able to get it unless I
was
get a
LSU?
team.
Nope. Georgia.
No, not LSU. Georgia. So East. Yeah, East. Shoot, man. See, this is the problem being the only SEC person in the podcast.
Trying to think what the guy run like 4.5, 4,
I think it was in like the 4.6s.
4.6.
He was
Yeah,
slow. He wasn't big.
I can't remember. Stokes?
Yeah.
Was it Eric Stokes?
No, it was the year
Nope.
before. Stokes'
Oh.
Campbell draft too. That was I think
Yeah.
21.
And Stokes was fast.
Yeah, I'm
I'm gonna go ahead and tap out on this one. I think I'm out
got
of
me.
ideas here.
You got us.
You ready for a name you haven't heard in a while? DeAndre Baker.
Oh yeah.
Ah!
DeAndre
Yeah,
Baker.
that's right. DeAndre Baker.
I was
Yeah.
looking at this class list.
Giants,
draft,
right?
Draft history. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was
Giants.
like, dude,
That's
this
right.
is the worst class. Those are the 3 round 1.
That was probably the best
DBs.
year to go to basic.
You
Then.
said back first. I'm like, oh gosh, these guys must have been really rough that year.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't even know where Baker's at now. Is he in the league?
I don't think he's in the league. He had a
I don't
bunch
think
of
so.
off-field stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm.
All right.
All right,
Uh,
round 2.
So that's what kind of questions we're getting after.
Stumped us.
I didn't
like
do
it.
too bad. I didn't do too bad. All right. 2013 was the Lane Johnson year. Obvious
my
Hall of
God.
Famer, probably best,
Deep
best
cut.
offensive tackle
2013.
forever. Yeah. He was the 3rd offensive tackle taken that year. Do you know who the 2 were that went ahead of him?
Fisher Jokel.
Nice.
Joke, that's right.
That was too
Mhm.
fast. Yeah. Jokel was from Texas A&M, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who
Yep.
drafted him? I didn't even write that.
Jaguars, right? No, was it Falcons?
No, it was Jaguars, I believe.
Jaguars.
Jake Matthews
Yeah.
was the Falcons.
Jake Matthews was the Falcons one,
And that- like
and
the
then
next
Fisher went
year.
1 to the Chiefs.
He did. Out of what? Central Michigan?
Central
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah, had a big Senior Bowl.
We're killing it. Had a big scene. All right. Question number 3. So I was thinking about this because this year we might see a first round Clemson linebacker, maybe. Whether it's Trotter or Carter. I doubt it.
Carter's
Carter-
going back. Carter's going back. That would have been my my
Oh,
pick
okay.
for it. But
Okay, well then, yeah, Trotter's not going
Yeah.
first round.
No,
He's
he's
too
not
small. Too small.
Okay, so other than Isaiah Simmons, who was the last Clemson off-ball linebacker to go round one?
I'm gonna mess up the name. Stephon Anthony, Saints
that was
pick.
fast.
Dang, man,
fast,
bro.
yeah. 2015. 2015. Yeah.
I was sitting there. I was thinking up, and I was like
No.
trying to think. I was
Oh,
like,
that reminds me. Who was that guy that went? He got a bunch of hype and then fell all the way to UDFA. He was a linebacker out of there.
He wasn't
He
that
ran
the
like a
dirty guy?
4.93.
Oh,
The dirty guy, right? Like the guy that like grabbed Lamar's face mask and
the white guy, right?
No, not Bulwer. Not Bulwer. Is a different guy.
Oh,
He declared as an underclassman.
Oh, I feel like I know what he's talking about, but I don't.
yeah, I can
have
think
the name.
20 like
Clemson.
right there, probably in the 2019 range, right?
It was like 19. Yeah,
That's-
19, it was before COVID. I think it was 18 or
Yeah.
19.
He won a national championship with them, right? With Deshaun Watson.
I think so.
Yeah. What's that guy's name?
There was a lot of. I remember there being a guy that had a lot of hype out of Clemson.
Yeah, and then we're like, but he can't run or cover. How's he? And then
how's he-
sure enough, he fell.
Do you want
Now,
me to
Jarvis.
wait on you guys to figure that out? Or
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
just-
look
just
it up,
bring
'cause
it.
I'll
Yeah,
just log
bring
it
it.
out there. Let me see.
Yeah,
'Cause
go ahead.
I'll see when I see the name. I'll recognize it. Trey Lamar.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a big dude, 6'4", 253, ran a 501.
What was that about? What happened with him?
He
ran a
just ran bad.
501.
Yeah, ran a 501.
Oh, duh, yeah. But
Yeah.
why did he look fast on tape sometimes? What was his deal? I remember not liking his tape, but I remember thinking like, he's probably more athletic than I'm giving him credit for, and then he was less. I just never understood that whole eval. And it was
No,
like
I just thought he was bad. I thought he just got that hype of being a player on a good team. So he's a junior, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, he's playing for the national championship. Cool. Let's go ahead and just put him in the second round of the mock
Yeah.
without really,
Without really looking at him. Oh
when you're
yeah,
in 5 flat, it's over.
star linebacker,
Oh man.
national championship. Yep.
All right. I'm going to give you a bunch of names. I think 12, 13 names.
Okay.
Find the first rounder or first rounders. Okay.
Okay.
See if you can pick out who was first rounders. Ronald Darby, Xavier McKinney, Preston Smith, Cam Robinson, Forrest Lamp, Xavier Howard, Landon Collins, Greg Little, Jalen Smith, Mike Hughes, Eric McCoy, Charles Harris.
I think I got 3. Collins was the first round pick, 25th overall. Zaven Collins.
I said Landon Collins.
Yeah.
Oh, why was I thinking Zaven?
I know Mike.
Xavier Howard and Landon Collins.
Oh,
Yeah, my
Shit.
bad.
I know Mike Hughes for sure is one. Eric McCoy's another one, right?
So
Charles Harris was too.
Mike Hughes was a first rounder out of UCF in 2018. Eric McCoy was the second rounder to the
Okay,
Saints.
I must have been thinking of Ruiz.
Yeah.
Charles Harris was the first.
Charles
rounder.
Harris went 22nd overall to the Dolphins. Any other first rounders in there? Do you want me to
Xavier
say some
Howard?
names?
I don't think.
Did Xavier
was
Howard
first
get up
rounder.
there? I thought he might have been a late one.
No.
Second
And Jalen
rounder.
Smith did not go first round either
Yeah.
because I know that he went second. He was supposed to go first. He had that injury late in the process.
Ronald Darby, Xavier McKinney, Preston Smith, Cam Robinson, Forrest Lamp, Greg Little, Jalen Smith.
Cam Robinson was the first pick of the second round, I do believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like what you did here. You picked a lot of these like early second rounders
just
that
like
were like
Remember, like the
thrown
big
around as
names.
first rounders.
Yeah.
They're all guys who were like mocked in round one, like
Yep.
consensus. A lot of them. So
All right. So, who were the first rounders then? Give me the answers one more time, just so I can.
Well, we know Charles Harris. We know
Okay.
that you said the corner out of UCF
Mike
Hughes.
Hughes. Out of
Mike
UCF.
Hughes.
Were there any others?
Give me that first name again.
Ronald Darby, Xavier McKinney, Preston Smith.
No. McKinney was early second round too. I'm gonna say no on Darby.
Okay. Darby was not. Yep. He was the second rounder.
So after McKinney, what's the name?
Preston Smith.
I don't think he was. He was second rounder.
Sure about that?
I'm pretty
No.
sure.
You're
I'm
right.
gonna say
he was
yeah.
He was the second rounder.
Yeah.
Yep. Forrest Lamp. Remember
I
him? out of
think he
Western
was
Kentucky?
36th overall.
Yeah, he was a second rounder as well. Greg Little,
Nope, second round. Panthers
Yep.
pick.
Landon Collins, Alabama.
Giants pick second round. right?
Yeah, he was the first pick of the second round, I believe. Yeah, there was just 2: Mike Hughes and Charles Harris. Mike Hughes and Charles Harris. Wanted to see if I'd get it.
That was a tough one.
Well, I know. I was looking through the names. I was like, shit, did I write these down right? No, but I wrote them all down where they went, and they're all.
Yeah, because I thought you said Zaven Collins. And I was thinking that linebacker out of Tulsa, Arizona took. And then I was like, oh,
is he
Landon Collins? Yeah,
he's an edge rusher now, right?
I think he plays more edge. Yeah,
Yeah, interesting.
which made more sense especially when you saw how he kind of played. But
And just look at him once, just edge rusher.
looked like an edge rusher. Yep.
All right, next question. Name this player. All right. I'll start giving you some information. Let me know if you need more hints. I wrote down a bunch of crap. And we'll see if you can guess who this guy is. He was in 2016. He was a 2016 draft pick. He ran a 4.34, 35.5 vert, 10.9 broad. A former wide receiver turned safety / corner, but mostly safety. He was the 57th overall pick in 2016. This is probably a name you haven't heard in a while.
I'm trying to remember that class.
He's a big dude, 4.34.
So 2016 was Elliott, Goff, Wentz, right?
I believe so. Let me see. Wait, I'm going to look up what he measured in at, just so I can give you one more hint.
Former running back turned corner, safety.
Former wide receiver turned
Wide
safety.
receiver. Okay.
Safety.
Wide receiver turned safety. 57th overall.
57th overall in 2016. Let's see. He measured in 6'2", 209. 6'2", 209.
You got any idea on this one, Jarvis? I think I'm stumped.
So he played in the NFL for the Colts, the Seahawks, the Saints, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Texans. He is currently on the Memphis Showboats in the USFL.
UFL.
TJ Green?
TJ Green.
Holy
TJ Green.
Goodness.
Swish.
Jarvis out of nowhere. TJ Green.
Dang.
Yep. I remember liking
I don't know
him
if I
when was
watched
so
him.
much.
I
He was
didn't.
Such an athlete, dude.
I remember he was so hyped as an athlete, and that's what pushed
He
him
was
up. And then he went to the Colts, and
crazy.
he did like nothing there when he got
Yeah.
there.
He was a lot like that kid out of Arizona, like Dane Cruikshank. Just a freak. And Obi Melifonwu, kind of
Yeah,
that clone.
my brain went to Melifonwu because I knew he was a tester like that, and I was sitting waiting like, how big is this guy?
That's what I was
And
hoping.
then you
to
said
get.
35 and a half vert, and I'm like, Melifonwu jumped like 40 something.
He jumped like 97. Yeah, he was out of the gym.
Yeah, he's killing it now.
Good for you, Jarvis. Wasn't sure anyone would get that because I was like, that's
Yeah.
just
I-
something I haven't heard in a while.
Before like 2018, I'm gonna be a little bit more limited.
Yeah.
But after like 2019 had a rough year, and then anything since then, you could throw any 2020 or 2023, and I should be fine.
You killed it. All right. I got a different type of question here. Okay. I'm going to name 5 guys. Tell me who was the highest draft pick and see if you can guess what slot he went. Laramie Tunsil, Christian Darrisaw, Andres Pete, Eric Flowers, and Andre Dillard. 5 offensive tackles currently in the NFL.
Okay, so
Eric Flowers.
give me that fourth name again.
Okay, so Laramie Tunsil, Christian Darrisaw, Andres Pete, Eric Flowers, Andre Dillard.
Okay, so Flowers. It's not Flowers. It's Tunsil. He went 13th.
Tunsil did go 13th, but he's not the highest on this list.
Flowers at like 10 to 12, right? Pete was more
He was.
mid-late one, right?
Andres Pete, also like Laramie Tunsil, went 13th overall. Eric Flowers did not go between 10 and 12. I'll say that. You got Christian Darrisaw, Andre Dillard, Eric Flowers left. Tunsil and Pete went 13th.
Well,
overall.
Darrisaw went early to the Chargers too. Did he not?
No, Darrisaw went 23rd to the Vikings.
Oh, Vikings. Okay.
Dillard went like
He's right
16 or
he's right
15 to
about
the
that.
Eagles. So Flowers
Andre-
must have gone what? If he didn't go top 10, I don't think. Flowers is probably
Andre
what?
Dillard went 22nd. Eric Flowers did go top 10.
Oh, he did.
So
Okay, so I got that
Eric-
part right.
yeah, so Eric Flowers out of all 5 of these guys went 9th overall.
Ooh.
Tunsil and Pete went 13th. Dillard went 22nd. Christian Darrisaw went all the way at 23.
For some reason, I thought Pete was taken later than 13th, which is interesting.
I did too. Yeah, this was when I was doing this. I was like,
That's why I was thinking. I was thinking
100%.
Flowers was like 20th for some reason. But Maybe
Yeah,
I might have been mixing my projections up with what actually
he came out of
happened.
Miami, right? Did he transfer
Yeah.
from somewhere to Miami, or is he just Miami? He was just in Miami, right?
I think it's just Miami.
Swear to God, he was Miami. Okay.
Interesting.
Well, I got him
Yeah.
number 1 first, but I missed on the. I thought he was in the double digits. I didn't realize he got down to 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of blowing my mind that he's all the way at 9 right now. I remember him. Okay. I got 2 more. Well, I got one more big question, then a few bonus questions, kind of add on to it. And this is because Washington made it to the national championship. So these are Washington questions. I was going to do Michigan, but I feel like our minds are too fresh on Michigan stuff. So I wanted to see what we remembered about the Washington's past.
Okay.
Because this year, I think Washington might have a few first-round picks. They're probably going to have Odunze, maybe Polk, maybe Penix, maybe Braylon Trice, maybe the corner. I'm just Jabbar Muhammad. Maybes. But do you guys remember the last 5 first-rounders for Washington? Dating back to 2017, since 2017, they've had 5 first-rounders.
And so in 2017, that was the year that they made the playoff run. So
Jake Browning was their quarterback that year. I believe.
Yep. And Browning was definitely not first round.
Definitely not a first-rounder.
I'm gonna type them into the chat so I can memorize which ones I've hit already. I know Caleb McGarry's one. He was like 30th to the Falcons.
Caleb McGarry was a first-round pick in 2019. Yes, sir.
Joe Tryon, back of 1 to the Bucks.
Joe Tryon was in 2021 to the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Buddha was an early 2. Because I know mine probably went there, John.
Buddha was a second-rounder.
Yep, he was.
Tryon and McGarry. So you need one in 2017. There was one in 2018.
It's mostly been
tackle you guys are
DBs.
missing.
Levi Onwuzurike.
No,
He was
there's-
early 2.
he was the second
Oh,
round.
Danny Shelton's way back. Danny Shelton's 2013
He's way back.
or something like that.
There's Kansas City took one out of a corner a couple years ago out of Washington. I can't remember which one it was.
Marcus Peters. I thought he was 16.
That was too far back too.
No. This is the last couple of years. McDuffie?
McDuffie.
Trent McDuffie in 2022 was one of them. Yeah. So now you got two left. Yeah, 2018 and 2017. There was one each year.
2017. I'm just trying to remember.
Vita Vea.
Vita Vea.
There you go.
Yep.
And then 2018.
So 20. That was 2018. So 2017.
Oh, that was 2018. Okay.
Yeah, 2017. There was a first round pick.
I'm trying to think who was good
Playoff
back
run.
then.
Do you remember who was on that playoff team that went first round?
I remember sitting down.
John Ross.
John Ross.
Damn.
The
John
fastest
Ross.
man
Oh
alive.
my God, that's right. He was. He went like top 10, did he not? Like 8th overall.
Yeah, he went 9th, I thought.
Yeah,
9th.
yeah. Only to never be seen again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cincinnati took him, right? And he
Yep.
got hurt, and then he was just
He went to the Giants for a year.
yes, sir. All
I
right.
think that was last year.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Is he on their team still? Why did they just keep
No.
grabbing random small receivers?
Well, because they got Hyatt to replace him out of Tennessee.
Yeah, that's been okay. He's kind of come on the last few weeks.
Yeah.
He's looked better. I think
All
you're
right,
on
so
something.
let's get into
Okay.
these bonus questions.
Sorry, 2 bonus questions. In 2015, they had 3 first-round picks. Who were those guys? You already said one. You said Danny Shelton.
Oh, they
There's
had 3 in 15?
There's 2 more that year. Yeah, I think Jarvis said another one already too.
Was Marcus Peters one of them?
Marcus Peters was the other one. Can you guess the 3rd first-round pick of 2015 on the Washington Husky squad? Linebacker.
This is an obscure one, isn't it? This is like a guy that did not pan out.
No, this guy's been fantastic his whole career. He's been so
Really?
good. Yes, I know, and I never think about him as a player or anything. Like he's the weirdest player because he's been almost elite his whole career, and he's
And
played
it's
with
not-
some really good players.
It's not Anzalone because he's Florida.
Florida.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's because that's
Was he
where
a-
my mind went.
Was he a pass rushing outside linebacker or was he off ball?
he's an outside backer, but he's an off ball. He's been exclusively off ball.
This is somebody that we're gonna like not associate with Washington somehow.
Yep, he's played with let's see, Luke Kuechly. He's played. I'm trying to not give too many hints here.
So Carolina Panthers.
Shaq, what's his name?
Shaq Thompson?
Who?
Shaq Thompson?
Thompson?
Jack Thompson.
Wow.
Jack Thompson.
Dang.
He's still in the NFL. He's still good.
he
It's
is.
just,
Oh, nice.
I don't know
Yeah, he
why
is.
he's never been a thing.
That's right.
Anyway.
Yeah, and I remember that. Okay.
All right, and this last question is in honor of us talking about the All-Star Circuit and the Senior and the Shrine Bowl, all that cool stuff. And I remember watching this guy on TV long time ago. 2013, there was a Senior Bowl defensive back out of Washington who went round 1. Do you know who that is? Think Bloodlines. Bloodlines, baby. He was the defensive back at the
There
Senior
was
Bowl out of
so
Washington.
many weird ones in 13 because it was such a weird class.
Yeah. His daddy was a big time player too.
Out of Washington, 2013, first round.
Defensive back. His dad was a big time corner. I'm trying to think. I don't remember who his dad played for. I think I remember one of the teams. So I think this kid was drafted by the Falcons. I want to say.
Wait, that's tough because they drafted a first and a second. They were both DBs that year, I think. And I can think of this. I can see the face of the second round one.
Yeah, so this kid, his whole thing at the Senior Bowl this year, or that year in 2013, he was battling it up with Marcus Wheaton the whole time. Those two were just fighting back and forth. Remember Marcus Wheaton, who got drafted by the Steelers, I believe?
Yep.
This kid and him were just battling the entire time. And Wheaton ended up going, I think, second round. But this defensive back went first. His initials are DT.
I can't remember. I can't remember.
Desmond
Trufant.
Desmond Trufant.
Oh my God, man!
All
I
the
haven't
way
thought
back
about him
to
in a while.
2013. Yep.
That was
Washington
before I was
Huskies.
even paying attention to the Senior Bowl. Was the problem with that question?
Yeah.
I figured. I just wanted to see if we knew any history of some of that stuff. I don't even remember following the Senior Bowl. I just remember watching it on TV and being like, "This is sick." And him and Marcus Wheaton were probably doing a little too much for TV, but yeah. But he became a good player. He became a good player for a while.
Interesting.
Anyway, that concludes my trivia for the night. Thank you for
Fantastic.
indulging me.
Fantastic.
Thanks,
And
guys.
Jarvis over there just schooling everybody.
crushed it.
Yeah.
Jarvis crushed it.
I was
I'm not-
surprised I did. Okay.
I'm not good. I'm not good at trivia. He says. Oh, I'm not. Now, Vogel, you're probably gonna do no.
I thought it was going to be like, oh, this guy's stats or this and that when they get in the league. I didn't realize it was going to be purely like where to go in the draft because that stuff's pretty memorable.
Nerd.
If you would have gone like 2020 through like last year, dude, any of those questions, I'd be even faster getting those. But I'm glad
That's why I tried to stay away. Yeah. Let's go back a little bit and see if we can stump this guy.
Stay away from the recency bias. I
Yeah.
get it. I see.
Yeah.
We're on the Sick Podcast, Drive Vogel. We talk about biases all the time. Thanks to Jarvis.
Yeah, thank you for letting me have that. That was fun.
Well, I think that's when we're about at the time limit. So, any hot takes before we wrap this thing up?
I do want to. I hate to bring up this, but I was listening to the Move the Sticks podcast the other day, and it finally came around. We've talked about this so much on this podcast. Is Marvin Harrison Jr. wide receiver 1? Blah 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 blah. Daniel Jeremiah said, I have identical grades on Rome Odunze and Marvin Harrison Jr. He even went as far as to say, Odunze is more explosive. He has a little more snap, a little more whip to his movements. He gets out of his breaks a little easier. He's a different type of player. He compared him to Jamar Chase while comparing Marvin Harrison Jr. to Larry Fitzgerald. But I just thought it was kind of funny because, like I said, I've tweeted about it. We've had this talk a few times. Like, it's going to get to that point where we're not crazy, and we've hit that point. And he said those two and Malik Neighbors just right under them. And, like we've said, those are our top 3. But it's reached that point where we have a big analyst finally saying, all right, maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to be the first wide receiver taken. There's a chance because there's some other ones that are just as good. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that happened.
You're vindicated finally.
Yeah, I feel a little better. For.
I'll say that I'll give you a hot take, and I might have said this on the show before, but I'm going to clarify it. So I think I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the first wide receiver taken off the board, but I don't think he's a number one. I think he's the first one off the board because I think Chicago is going to target him to be their number 2 to DJ Moore, and he'll be elite. He'll be elite as a wide receiver too. But if you draft him to be your number 1, good luck. I wish you the best.
And do you say that just because of the way we've kind of talked about how maybe he doesn't share that same demeanor that maybe Odunze does, or like Des Bryant?
Odunze's a 1, right?
Yeah,
I think Odunze's clearly a 1. He'll be like, I know that he said Jamar Chase. I think more like Diggs-ish when I watch Odunze. So Stephon Diggs. That's what I kind of see more. But he's a 1 receiver. He can dictate coverages. He can demand that type of attention. Harrison just lacks that physical edge to me. You know what I'm saying? Where the one rep that is like imprinted terribly in my mind is that rep where he should have contested that interception against Michigan, and Sainer still takes it back for a touchdown, and he just stands there and watches him. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not a number 1 receiver. And that kind of attitude is all over his tape to me, And so I just don't think – I think that if you make him a 2 and you got a 1 that can attract the attention, like DJ Moore at Chicago, now you put Harrison on the other side, he's got a chance to put up some huge numbers. It's a Calvin Ridley type situation, where Harrison has all the talent in the world, but he's just not a 1. He doesn't dictate that. So Ridley was the same way. Ridley is still one of the best route runners I've ever evaluated. Mm-hmm. But he's not a 1. He needs another guy on the other side, and he's really your second option. And he'll be elite doing that.
I think we talk about presence a lot. Like, can you feel him? Do you feel his presence when he's on the field? And I think there is something lacking a little bit there with Marvin Harrison Jr. So athletic, so big, so strong, so fast. But you just don't feel him the same way maybe we felt some guys in the past. Like, even like I remember Mike Williams at Clemson, and it just felt like there was something about when he was on the field, everyone, on their couch, everyone watching the TV was looking for him, and you could tell everyone on the field felt him, like where he was going. It was just he was the guy, and he knew it, and he was kind of willing to be a dog and get down and dirty. I don't know if Harrison's that guy yet. It doesn't feel like it, but I think that's why Odunze and some of these other guys have crept up on him, because they're just different types of guys. You feel them a little more.
Yeah.
So
Jarvis?
Well, I didn't have anything to add to it.
I thought maybe you had a hot take. I was going to give you a second to throw it out there.
Oh, no, I've mentioned it before. I think the aspect of as we get through the process very early on through, September through like November or so much of it is, okay, there's kind of a consensus build up, and these early media mock drafts kind of stays the same. As we get into December, January, teams start having more inputs coming from coaches, from their higher level scouts. They actually start to build their boards a little bit. Media is going to start to get leaks from them, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. And it kind of opens up the door for that level of uncertainty where, if you were to say anything against Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver 1 throughout the year, you're going to get the GAM treatment, and everyone's going to be jumping down your throat over it. But now that we have information coming out from teams and we're kind of drifting into a more knowledgeable area, we're going to see a lot more of this. Oh, maybe this guy's not actually wide receiver 1. This is the same reason I made that Daniels bet is as we get through this process and this information comes out, things are going to shift very rapidly over the next couple of months. And we've got to be very tuned into that of, okay, out of nowhere, hey, guess what? Jonathan Mango's worth a second-round pick or late first. And it's like, where did that come from? And it's going to happen. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
and don't forget about Keon Coleman. He's going to creep into this conversation too. Just reminding you guys, don't forget about him. It's coming. Yep. That's going to do it, guys. So thank you again for tuning into this episode of the Sick Pod with Draft Vogel. Back at it here in a couple days. Shane, get us out of here.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Draft Vogel on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.